Discussion? If none, this board is authorizing the Highway Department to remove the fire pit at Van Geisen Hall. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Hey, maybe you could cook those chickens that Stacy was talking about.
Oh, my goodness, that was an interesting discussion.
And the last piece of new business, review, discuss, and act to transfer the Ford Taurus sedan from the Highway Department to the Veterans Agent.
So moved.
I second the motion.
Is this the little blue car it must have 200,000
Oh, yes.
miles
Oh,
on
yes.
it? They can't kill it.
It has about 250, doesn't it?
Right.
About
Right.
250,000 miles.
Oh, that car's been around and
That's
around.
been used by so many different department personnel to go to seminars, and
Police had it for a while.
police had it, the fire departments used it for inspections and certification classes for the full-timers. The highway superintendent used it to cut down on the gas for his pickup, and everybody's used it. So now, the veterans agent, who's putting a ton of miles on his vehicle, transporting a lot of the veterans to, the hospitals and doctor's appointments and what have you, had asked us if we could keep an eye out for a van or what have you, and we're still looking for a van for him, reasonably, and, so this was offered to him, and he said, sure, I'll take it, as long as it runs, and we've got verification from the town mechanic that mechanically it's perfect, so. With that said, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That motion carries.
I would just like to add, before we move on to the next item, we will have the building commissioner, who is in the same office, apply for a gas card for the veterans agent, so that he has a gas card
Right.
for fuel. And I think it's an open question that the veterans agent can advise us on. If he happens to have a veteran from Berkeley as well as a veteran from Dayton going to the VA hospital on the same day, I'm sure that may happen once in a while, probably not all the time, but if it happens to be that he's taking a veteran from Berkeley, we just want to make sure that it's insured for use outside the town for that purpose, and so forth and so on.
Next on the agenda, reports. Do we have any reports?
Yes, we have. Yes,
Can't wait.
excuse me, just one moment, I'll get my little list, I'm sorry.
It better be little.
Since we went over the initiatives a week ago Tuesday, walked into something with lint on it. I will simply report, intern Lucas Fagundes will pick up the policy manual and the changes that have been submitted at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and he will take them and he will assimilate the changes that we have received from the department heads, and he will produce what we will call a final draft, which, when he has produced it, we will circulate to the department heads, and if they have any finishing touches or corrections before we put it into effect, we will do it. The police appointments having been made, we have granted the waiver of the 1-year waiver of the academy to the full-timers until the budget and the time and manpower allow completing the academy requirement. The state's police training committee is authorized to grant the waiver, and this board signed off the request, which was endorsed by the police chief. Broad Cove Nature Trail. I'm looking to get in touch with Jonathan Gray, with the continuing conversations about the Broad Cove Nature Trail with James Mello and Ms. Clancy. Eventually, if the nature trail is to be relocated to another site on Broad Cove, we probably will want the involvement of multiple players, the Parks and Recreation Commission, at least a member of Parks and Recreation, the Conservation Commission, which has the other available sites under its wing, and possibly a representative of the agricultural school, because one of the intentions of the Conservation Commission was that there be an outdoor classroom for the agricultural school on Broad Cove as well. So at some point, the conversations may expand, but right now, the primary focus is to continue to talk to Mr. Mello to make sure that we have good neighbor relations, and also to involve Jonathan Gray so that his sentiments concerning the future of that trail are known and incorporated into what is done. Tomorrow, we will meet at 10 a.m. to finalize our part of the clerical union wage study. The clerical union wage study has been ongoing for quite a while. We have informed union agent Joe McCardle that we will be meeting. He said he would like to be here, but he can't tomorrow. I told him that we would not announce our decisions tomorrow or put them into effect until he had had a chance to give us his input. Concerning the animal shelter improvements, once again, we do have a private party who's willing to do work on a run for the dogs, and the superintendent of streets has been so informed. I think we've heard about the progress concerning a director of public health in Van Guysen Hall already tonight. We have a proposal for a municipal solar project for the Tremont Street landfill site, and we have been informed by the planning board as of this morning that it is now in the Selectman's court, and we need to contact the company that submitted a proposal and proceed with negotiations for a final agreement. At some point, that'll go back to the planning board, because they have to ensure that what we finally agree upon with the proponents conforms to our solar zoning bylaw. The town meeting communications committee mandate has been expanded, and this morning we informed the town department heads that it is now the Public Affairs Communications Committee, and the chairman of the committee, Sean Urban, has requested that a selectman attend the next meeting of the committee to formally read the portion of the minutes of the selectmen's meeting at which the vote was taken, and to formally give them their new charge.
What's the new name?
The Public Affairs Communications Committee. The chairman of the planning board, Heidi Swist, was present at the department heads meeting this morning, and appropriately enjoined all department heads to use the master plan implementation checklist to ensure that we are doing all our parts to make the goals of the master plan a reality. Mr. Chairman, I know you're going to want to have a word to say about the DR regional agreement meeting that was held last night at the high school. I'll just go through the rest of this. On the third Wednesday of the month at the DR superintendent's office at 12 noon, that'd be October 21st this month, this board will meet with Dr. Azar and the business administrator, Catherine Antonellis, to go over things of mutual concern to the town and the school department. And our quarterly meeting with the Rehoboth Board of Selectmen will occur on November 4th. The telephone and security systems, we have our telephones in our office waiting to be installed. The security systems are in the process of, the new security system, I think it's a 3-day process to convert from keys to swipe cards, which will automatically, electronically log who comes and goes in town hall, and which can be deactivated when the user no longer has need or authorization to enter the building. And finally, on the progress front, land purchase for the grammar schools. We have in hand the purchase and sale agreement, which was signed by Father Cregan on behalf of the seller for the 1.6 acres of land contiguous to the grammar schools, for which the town meeting made a transfer of free cash. This proposition requires first a 21E investigation. We have a contractor who we have identified who was recommended to us actually by our civil engineer, who will perform the 21E investigation, and when the results come in, we will be able to proceed. In the meantime, we have been informed that there is asbestos in the house that will affect its demolition. However, the building commissioner is on top of it. He is making plans for remediation of the asbestos. It is our hope that the building commissioner will be able to furnish the seller the name of a company to demolish the property, and that the seller will have it demolished. Our purchase price will reflect that. If that doesn't happen, then our purchase price will be reduced from $175,000 to $160,000, and the town will be responsible for demolishing the house. There is a stove in the house that will probably be of use in the kitchen of the highway department for serving meals to plow crews in the wintertime when they're on 24-hour lockdown.
Very good. Very
Anything
good.
on the update on the police communications? I know we talked a little bit this morning, but do you have anything there that you can?
Communication?
Police communications building, the next step, where it is. Is it at the ZBA
You're
level?
just waiting for a technicality of being granted a variance in the ZBA. Right now, the chairman is in rehab. He had an operation, so they're just waiting for him to get back and set up a scheduled meeting, and it's just a technicality. All the easements have been approved, and just a matter of one easement that they don't see any problem with. Selectman Menges mentioned as far as the regional agreement amendment committee, we're still plugging away. One of my co-members, Mr. Judge Solis, you heard tonight talk at the beginning of the meeting, representing, he's a member of that same committee from Rehoboth. We left the meeting with a continuance on a subject matter as far as what happens, and this is the topic of the issue that we're hashing out now. What are the pros and cons? What is each town's basis for agreeing or not agreeing on a town withdrawing from a K through 8 regional district. It's all hemming on wording in this new agreement, that the state now dictates that all assessments will be based on a statutory method. There seems to be discussion around the table between the two towns that they would also like to put into the agreement some words referring to an alternate method of assessment that would be, it would have to be voted on by each town every single year, and both towns would have to approve it in order for it to be considered to go to the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education for their approval. We're at a little standstill right there. We were missing a few members last night. Our next meeting is October 29th. As always, the public is invited to attend. It's an open meeting all the time. Your input, there is time allowed for it at the end of the meeting. And we do invite everybody. We have right along. Every time we've had an update or a status report on this regional agreement committee. The draft of the agreement, I would say, George, correct me if I'm wrong, is probably 95% there. We're ready with just this one little hiccup that we have to iron out between the representatives of the two towns. But we'll get there. We'll get there one way or the other.
Everybody loved everybody when we left.
That's right, that's right. Kiss and hug and
Life's
Safely.
too short not to.
That's
that's
true.
right, that's right. So, thank you, Mr. Menges. Anything else, report-wise?
Patrick and I attended the Mass Municipal Association legislative meeting last Friday at the Senior Center in Rehoboth. We heard presentations on state budget. Lottery receipts were down, but casino revenue was up. They talked about the OPEB legislation that had been filed, did not make it out of committee, so it's gonna have to be refiled again, so we have nothing new on OPEB. Some of the concerns raised by people, I guess other selectmen, town managers, the group that was there, there was discussion about the opioid problem. The speaker from Mass Municipal was John Robertson, that does most of the legislative work. Concerns about a $36 million surplus that resulted from lottery/gaming revenue that didn't come back to the cities and towns, but went into the town's general fund. There was some strong discussion on that, I guess we could say. You think of anything else, Patrick, that we talked about?
No, I think that's a very good summary of what was actually quite a lengthy, he made a lengthy presentation, and then there was some very good comments by the folks around the table, but I think that's an excellent summary.
Very good. Next, we have an acknowledgement. Again, it's customary that the board acknowledges any donations that are given to any committee or board within the town. In this case, an anonymous donation was given to Prime Time in the amount of $120. We did receive this correspondence from Alice Souza of the Dayton Council on Aging. We are pleased to inform you that Dayton Council on Aging has received a generous donation in the amount of $120. As usual, all donations are turned over to the town accountant and deposited in the Council on Aging donations account. Alice probably gets more donations than any single committee or board in this town. I don't know how she does it, why she does it, but I hope she keeps doing it, that's all. And we like to thank all these people out there that do give on a constant basis, too, a continuous basis, these generous donations. It helps a lot, you know. These, especially over here at Prime Time, the people that attended, they're so appreciative. The volunteers that we have are priceless. They put in dozens and dozens of hours helping the people that go there on a daily basis. So those of you out there who continue to donate, if able to, please continue, and this board graciously thank you very much. I would like to just, go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry. We do need to take a vote to accept it.
Right, just acknowledge
for the
that and
record.
accept it, right?
The town accountant needs that in our minutes. I'll move that we accept the $120 donation to the Dayton Council on Aging.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? None being, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, any public input? Any closing comments from my colleagues?
I don't have anything.
Those for whom it means anything, the 25th of October will be St. Crispin's Day. It's very historic, and all I can say is read Shakespeare's Henry V. Two missionaries in Gaul in the 3rd century were martyred by Diocletian, and 600 years ago, on October 25th, 1415, was the Battle of Agincourt, which was immortalized by King Henry V's remarks to his troops prior to the battle on that date. So October 25th is St. Crispin's Day, and for those who are attuned to these fine points in the history of civilization, it is a momentous anniversary.
And I will add to that Patrick's remarks at the 911 dedication centered around that. And that dedication, that was a very well-attended, very solemn, very moving ceremony. As I said, I think everyone in that room was thinking where they were on that day and how that impacted them. But it was very good, very well done.
It was certainly nice of Mrs. Goulart to present the policeman's prayer, and she had some remarkable research in her remarks as well, and certainly it set the proper tone for the entire observance.
Hats off to Tom Maderas for sort of being the chairman, doing all the behind-the-scenes work and the arrangements, and Chief Tony Roderick, and all of the firefighters and the reserves and the police officers. It was a good contingent there, good representation.
Well, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That motion carries. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice weekend. And good night, Cable. Thank you very much.